There is something fundamentally wrong with how we think about goals because we don't tend to take into account life. Life happens and then we don't reach our goals, even with the best of intentions. So it's one thing to try to build a habit. It's another thing to actually account for life that's going to throw you off. Your kids wake up in the middle of the night. You have to help your mom with an appointment. You get sick. Not accounting for some of these things is what makes us fall off our goals by the middle of January. So here's a framework that I use and have been using for many, many years. Okay, so think about yourself as if you're here, right? This is where you are right now. Now, you've already achieved certain goals in your life. You've already come a long way, but you are also goal-oriented, right? We want to always strive to be better, to achieve more, or even to step into a new version of ourselves. A lot of the people I work with are just trying to maybe be more present with their family, maybe feel more at peace in their life and not be multitasking and running around so much. So for lack of a better word, we're going to say goal here. This is you in your future state, your future goal, the thing that you want in life. And we know that it's not a straight line, but we think that in order to reach that version of ourselves, in order to achieve that goal, we need to accomplish certain things. And then usually what happens is we write it down. 1, I want to go to the gym 3 times a week. 2, I want to eat a salad every day, or whatever it is. And it becomes a to-do list. We are writing down a to-do list. I don't know about you, but if you have ever written a to-do list, how often do you actually end up crossing everything off? I mean, I love a good list, but it's really hard to cross off every single thing because things happen in life. Maybe you're tired, maybe something comes up, something takes longer than you expected, and we don't actually get through it. And then we're relying on willpower. Relying on willpower actually makes it a lot harder because when we write our goals down and we make our to-do list, we're all excited and we're motivated. But then when real life hits, we realize, oh, actually, I don't have the energy to do that today. Oh, I don't feel like doing that today. So how do we continue to move forward on our goals without relying on the list? This is actually what it looks like. It's more up and down. And I want to zoom in on this for a second. If you think about the up and down of how it looks when you are trying to move forward in life, usually what happens is you're moving along your merry way and then life happens. And it sort of pushes you off track, right? Whatever it may be. Maybe it's someone else, maybe it's a responsibility, maybe it's something that was unexpected time, but it could also be an emotion. Something happened in your life and you're sad, or you're grieving, or you're upset about something, or you're ruminating about something. This is also life happening, life throwing you off course. And then you kind of sink into this, let's call it a valley or a void. So this is this sort of dip. And what we need to do in this dip is build capacity. And capacity can look like many different things. I can do a video on each separate part of the framework if you want. If you're interested, just make a comment below and let me know which one's interesting to you, and I'll speak more about it. But essentially, in order to make this valley less deep, you want to make it more shallow. We need to build capacity so that when life throws us off, we're not completely derailed. We will be thrown off. How do we do it in a way that is less damaging, is less distracting? And then we want to be able to pull ourselves back up, right? We want to get back on track. And how do we do that? We have to look at our coping skills, because our coping skills is how we manage stress. Stress is the thing that throws us off. There's going to be something that stresses us out, something that throws us off, and then we typically will react in a certain way. If we build coping skills, we can actually move ourselves upwards, back on track, faster, more efficiently. Otherwise, we rely on habits that maybe aren't actually moving us forward. And then the last part is anchoring to your vision. This part is really important, although maybe a little harder to explain. We want to make sure we really know where we're going. And I should have mentioned also, the beginning part is really figuring out where you want to be. What is your vision? Because oftentimes we know what we want, but we don't know the details. We can't describe it to people. I know for me, I often know what other people want. I know what my kids want. I know what my partner wants, but it's hard to really figure out what I want. And so this building the vision is really, really important, and not just in the to-do list sense, but as a vision of how I want to live my life. Who do I want to be? What do I want in life? That's the vision part. And then we need to really anchor to that vision. Because once you know, for example, I was working with someone and she said, I want to be in more leadership roles in my job. If she knows she wants to be in more leadership roles, it really helps her to decide more easily, right? A lot of the decisions become easier for her. Then if she gets an opportunity to do something that doesn't move her in that direction, she might not make exactly the right choices every time, but directionally she's moving in the right direction. Then when she gets an opportunity or someone says, hey, can you do this for me? She can know easily, okay, this is not moving me forward, or yes, this is going to move me closer to help me build the skills that I need in this leadership role. So knowing your vision, but then really anchoring to your vision helps the decisions become much easier. If you are interested in any one of these particular pieces of the process, let me know and I can do more information on each of them. But think about your goals in this way, where you're building in a way to deal with real life while you are trying to move forward. So you're not just relying on willpower or a to-do list or motivation. You're actually relying on the things that you do to manage stress, manage energy, manage capacity. Really keep yourself firm on that vision so that you can eventually build resilience, because life is going to happen. And really the thing that gets us to our goals is not whether we can stay on track, it's whether we can bounce back. It's the resilience that we need instead of the willpower.